Hey man, welcome back to another edition of Everything Football 62. I'm your host, Jonathan Big Tex Johnson, aka Uncle Tex, aka Professor Tex. Like and subscribe to the page, share, like, all that good stuff. I know these motherfuckers ain't talking shit. I know the 49ers ain't talking shit. Here we go with this shit. I never really had this thing against Christian McCaffrey at all. A little overrated as far as I'm concerned and whatnot. He's been pretty solid for his career. He got the little Pro Bowl alternate based upon the way they play the damn Pro Bowl nowadays, so he didn't even really get picked for the Pro Bowl. He's never said really anything, never really talked to the press like that in terms he's not being mouthy and nothing like that. All of a sudden, he's running his fucking mouth. This quarterback thing. Dude, I don't want to hear shit about that. I don't want to hear nothing about it. If you really look at this, who's doing all the talking? Let's check it out. Let's see who's doing all the talking. Like 49er players are still complaining about losing to the Eagles. Here now you got a fucking kicker, Robbie Gould.
I think they're going to have to be more aggressive than what they've been against Kansas City and others. I think, from a pure perspective of football, I think Andy Reid, who's been there multiple times, will have a little bit better understanding of what that week looks like, how to prep his team. I remember when we played Kansas City in the Super Bowl, I felt like our guys were really revved up and running around really quick. And then when I saw Kansas City's warm-up, they were kind of like almost jogging through, conserving that energy because it's such a long day, right? So I just like the ability for Kansas City to go in with the experience that they have and the talent they have on offense, the youngness they have on defense with the interior Chris Jones. I mean, I like that. Kansas City is going to have a lot, even though their offensive line is pretty solid, they're going to have a lot to deal with the Chiefs' defensive line. But I think, from experience and talent, I like Kansas City over Philadelphia. And I'm not taking anything away from Philly. I think they're a really good football team. Obviously, they have to be a good football team to get there. And they've done it pretty convincingly. And they haven't really had to play in the playoffs a full game yet, right? So you get in a game where they're down. Obviously, Kansas City gets up on them early. It might take them a little bit out of their game with a run plan, which I'm assuming they're trying to get going first to get Jalen Hurts going. But if you make Jalen Hurts play quarterback, you're going to have probably a pretty solid day on defense.
Make him play quarterback. I thought that's what he played. You haven't got to play another position like he's playing another position, so make him play quarterback. Get the fuck out of here. Let's look at some of these comments. Debo. And I mess with Debo. Eagles D will be exposed. Well, they didn't get exposed that day. They didn't get exposed. Did they get exposed against y'all? Brock, the whole thing with Brock Purdy and stuff like that. The slippers was coming off anyway, homeboy. It was going to be a long day for him. He was going to either get beat up physically and mentally by the Eagles defense or what happened to him. It was going to be one, and I thought it was going to be, obviously, I didn't think that accident was going to happen with him, but it did. I thought they was going to beat him and bat him because he didn't play that great against Dallas, and if Dallas would have brought their fucking A game, they would have beat the 49ers. Even with them playing bad because Dak didn't step up and play the game he played. If he played the way he played against Tampa, we ain't even having this conversation. We're not even having this conversation and whatnot. But they didn't. Nonetheless, it happened. Purdy didn't throw no touchdowns and he didn't throw no picks and whatnot. Dallas had every chance to win that game and they didn't. About a woulda, coulda, shoulda. Didn't happen. Jimmy Ward says that A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith will pay. Robbie Gould said Hurts isn't a good quarterback. You heard him talking right there. Brandon Ayuk said he will bet his money on the Chiefs. Still talking shit. And of course, Chris McCaffrey with the dumb comment talking about I hope both teams lose or whatever this, that, yeah. Sorry, homeboy. That's not going to happen. You know why that's not going to happen? Because they're going to play until the game until somebody scores. So it's not going to be a tie. It's not going to be a draw. It's not going to go down as a tie. Sorry, that's not the way this game is going to be played. It is what it is. They're going to play until somebody wins the fucking game. This is coming. Now, McCaffrey never really said and has never said anything. This is the only second time he's been in the playoffs in his fucking career. And he's running his fucking mouth. This is coming from a player who has missed 23 games. This year was the first year he played 16 games since 2019 when he did 1,000. I give him that year. That's it. He ain't getting shit else. He's not that fucking dude. But for him to be running, the dude has never really said anything in the press, and all of a sudden, he's running his mouth. Sorry, partners. Y'all motherfuckers lost. You watching the game at home just like I will be. And I haven't determined what kind of food that I'm going to serve for that particular day, but I'm getting it on my mind now. It might be some San Francisco treat. You know what I'm saying? Stop bitching. If you notice, these are all, let me just make sure, because I'm not that familiar with a lot of these different players per se. All of them. Let me see here. Let's go right here. Have a little fun with this. Just got through cooking a goddamn 49ers fan here earlier. Yeah, well, one defensive player. You're going to pay and all this other kind of shit. But the majority of everybody running their fucking mouth was offensive players. What about the other side of the ball? 49ers had the best defense. They gave up 31 fucking points. None of them guys is talking all the majority of guys is talking all the shit is offensive players. What makes you think that Brock Purdy was going to sit up there and go 25 for 35 for 350 yards and 3 fucking touchdowns? They was on his ass early and often. Cox, Graham, Hassan, Chop, Reddick. Wasn't going to happen, homeboy. They ran down their fucking throat. Sanders and all of that, they ran down their fucking throats and whatnot. I don't want to hear anything, your fucking excuses and all that kind of shit. Y'all got your asses beat. You got it handed to them. But here you got McCaffrey. That's what pisses me off the most, because y'all basically know how I feel about this joker. I said, you ain't done shit. Even when he was at Carolina, I said, never. This is the first time he's been in the playoffs. On the shoulders, even when it's in Carolina, it was on the shoulders of that of Cam Newton when they went 11-5 and would have beat the Saints. Had somebody, Devin Funches, with his buttery finger ass, can't even catch the goddamn ball. He got lost in the lights. Yeah, whatever, dude. Dropping balls like goddamn, like he had butter, like his hands was made of butter, or goddamn, a pig lard. Now, I don't want to hear nothing about what these guys got to say and whatnot. Sit at home and watch the fucking game like I'm watching the game and whatnot. I'll be at home watching it just like y'all will be. That sore loser mentality shit is some bullshit. Like I said, y'all got your asses whooped. Go back again. What happened to the defense? Exclude all these assholes over on offense talking that shit. Jimmy Ward shouldn't say shit. Y'all got it handed to you. Now you got a fucking kicker, a stupid idiot kicker at that, talking shit. No, Jalen Hurts plays quarterback. I don't even need to look up his stats. All pro second team in the Pro Bowl. This is technically his what? Came in the league 2020. Basically played the last 4 games of the season. I think he went like 1-3 or whatever the case may be. Still put up some solid numbers and whatnot. So 2021 was his first year as a full-time starter. 22, so 2021, go to the playoffs. They went, they went 8-7, I think, if I'm not mistaken. They went 8-7, something to that effect. 8-8, something like that. 9-7, 9-8, or 9-8, or whatever the record was. And he lost in the early division, okay? Basically his rookie year, which was 2021. 2022, second year as a starter. They're in the Super Bowl. No, fuck it. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it any goddamn way. Jalen Hurts, this year, 14-1 record, missed a couple of games due to injury. 66.5, 3,701 yards, 22 touchdowns, only 6 picks. His rushing, because he's a dual threat guy. His rushing, 165 carries for 760 yards, 13 touchdowns. He accounted as 13, 22, 13, 22, 13. Put out the old calculator because the old mine ain't what it used to be. He accounted for 35 fucking touchdowns. 35 times 6. That's 210 points. By one person. When we talk about probably the extra points are going for 2. That's 210 points. What the fuck is y'all talking about? If you make him play quarterback, what is he playing? Wide receiver? And then we're going to turn it back, he plays quarterback. If he goes and play, that's basically what you're saying because you don't respect him as a quarterback. That's fine. But he's playing Sunday and you're not. Your quarterback is at home maybe can't even possibly might be forever with even trying to throw the ball again because of that injury. And that quarterback situation is so lumped up now. Oh, we need to change the rules. Fuck that. Y'all got your asses whooped. Plain and fucking simple. C-Mac, take your ass back to wherever you come from with that bullshit. You wasn't even doing all that talking over there in Carolina. Now you all of a sudden you running your fucking mouth over here now. Y'all got your asses whooped. Yeah, you wrestled well 84 yards. It was all for naught. All for nothing. All your little yards and shit like that you got schemed for all those years over in Carolina. But when it was for you to be the man, you didn't do what the fuck you needed to do. You didn't put the team on your back like a John Riggins, like an Earl Campbell, like guys of that stature, like an Eric Dixon, who didn't never play with a fucking quarterback, ever. That's how I judge by rushing. I don't really judge by all that goddamn extra pass shit, whatever like that. You ain't no Thurman Thomas. You ain't no Thurman Thomas. You ain't no Marshall Faulk. Until you start putting up the number 1,400 yards on about a 4 or 5 year basis and whatnot, I don't want to hear nothing that you got to say. You did 1,387 that year and whatnot. What did y'all do? Y'all was at home just like me, watching goddamn playoffs from home. So Ron Rivera was schemed for you to be 1,000. And you can easily do it by doing 60-60 every fucking game, and that's easy in today's game. So get the fuck out of here with that shit. You got your asses whooped. Go home, cry like a fucking baby and shit like that. It is what it is. Real disappointing guys like Deebo Samuels, and whatnot. Brandon Ayuk, because all those guys are really good players and whatnot from a football standpoint of view. But this bitching and complaining, I don't want to hear nothing about your quarterback. It is what it is. A lot of teams would go coulda, woulda, shouldas. A lot of teams would go coulda. If Dak would have did this, y'all asses wouldn't even goddamn been in the goddamn NFC Championship game. Period in the story. Period in the story. It's we had a rookie quarterback. I don't give a shit about having a rookie quarterback. I don't care if you lost Jimmy. That's a part of the fucking game. That's what it is. This crybaby shit and these guys up there bitching and complaining. Fuck Christian McCaffrey and all the rest of the motherfuckers talking that shit. I'm glad they lost. And Roger Craig is not in the Hall of Fame again. Now y'all take that with you and shit like y'all gonna take that. Y'all take that with you and whatnot. Like I tell you guys all the time, there's no greatest of all time. As long as time is still going on. And like I say, like I constantly always say, numbers don't lie and get emotional. People do. I'll catch y'all later. Y'all enjoy your Super Bowl weekend like I'm enjoying mine. And hey, Christian, I'm going to drink some of this Elijah Craig for your goddamn bitching ass. Get out of here.